All right. Hold on, all right. Let me get myself situated here. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. All right. So, one of the things I want to start doing is start answering questions that people have about agents and AI and even have discussions if they want. Uh yeah. If not, then we'll just continue working on projects or whatever. But yeah, but this session is about you guys and sharing whatever I know. Don't know everything, but I'll do my best to find the answer if I don't have it. Um, so we can grow together. Soft as tagline. But yeah, ask your questions, questions, comments, whatever. Workflow questions, agent harness questions, repos, all that stuff. All right. So while we wait on that, uh, I've got to clean out my tabs. Hold on, or let me clean this up. Let me clean this up. All right. So let's share. We'll go here and then there. I have to do this from Firefox because for some reason or another, um, Chrome's giving me problems. So this is just a Grok, GROC, not Elon Musk's Grok, session where I'm transcribing uh, some audio files, and then we're just going to clean that up right here. One of the things I'm working on, or several of the things I'm working on, is this infrastructure. I love working on infrastructure type of things. So um, right now, I'm figuring out how we can create workspaces inside of a Docker container or inside of Docker. Meaning, if I have a workspace geared towards like design type of stuff, um, then our host, Claude Code, Opus 4.8, 48 for shorthand, should be able to ping, well, maybe not ping, but kind of create an orchestration on the fly to that Docker container or containers within a workflow and do some work. So this repo is called Empirical Skills. It comes with I don't know. It said like 1,000 some skills and some other stuff. I want to put that to work, right? It wants, I guess, some sort of anthropic hackathon. I want to see what this can do. Not just a few skills. I want to put the entire code base to work, right? As part of a team member or as part of an orchestration workflow, right? Um, and of course, we can have one or more team members working on this workflow, or more specifically within this workspace in a Docker container, and then return that back to our host, Cloud Code CLI Opus 4.8 instance. I know that sounded like a lot, and you know, maybe lost, and I don't want to confuse you. So please, 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 please ask questions. Doesn't matter if it's beginner level or advanced, orchestration, repos, trends. Please ask. I am here to help. But yeah, that's what I've been working on lately. I haven't really been. Oh, I forgot about the game. Let me pull that up. Hold on. Hold on. The little platformer game that we were working on. It's somewhere around here. All right. So the original game, and again, this was one shotted from a guy in Japan. Here and then here. So this is the original. He says he one shotted it. I have no choice but to believe him. This is a single HTML5 file with all of the sprites embedded within it, which I didn't know you can do. All right, and I think it uses 3.js and WebGL as the dependencies and maybe some other stuff. I didn't really dig deep into the source code to find, kind of like do a deep dive because honestly, I don't care. Uh, so last week I had created a series of prompts. We actually use the architect workspace, which is on our Beyonce server. So this will be the workspace, the architect workspace here. And so basically our Claude Code instance on our host computer um, sort of reached out to this architect workspace to do like a series of research and I don't know, scoring on ideas of myriad of ideas and so on and so forth. And it returned to us kind of like a result. All right. And so I did had to add sprites because they took the sprites out and I just got some shapes. So I downloaded some free and free 2D resources on the web. And so this is all Opus 48, specifically the architect. So super hard mode, not really super hard mode. I had to add in a background. I mean, there's still some bugs that wasn't there before. Um, I haven't really done much with this except add the background. I have to make the cats bigger. It was snails before, now it's cats, and then but like the most of the improvements come from like the animation. We didn't have to do any manual animation at all. Any of these sprites. So like the hero is animated, it looks good. The enemies are properly animated, it looks like. There is a glitching bird here. I had to change out the platforms here because it's still using the wrong platform sprites. They added checkpoint, which is hard to see. It's like a little flag there, like right here. Once you touch it, it goes green. But yeah, this is a great scaffold to add whatever onto it. You know, you put, I don't know. I guess I'm in invincibility mode while I was, because that's when I was blinking. I didn't add any music to it, and that's the end of the level. I did add more levels. The level does change, but oh, it did change these sprites this time. So the very last prompt I did was that, the levels changed, but the sprites didn't change. And so Opus 48 uh natively, yeah, the glitching bird is still there. There's our checkpoint. We have our spring. I died because I got shot at. I don't know how I'm supposed to get up on that platform. But yeah, like all the animation and stuff like that, all this stuff, don't have to deal with it. The frog, that's new. I do have a dash mode. Okay, I can't get up there. Again, we have our trampoline. We have to fix that glitching bird issue. I do like how the sprites came out, and that's the end of the second level. Let's see what the third level looks like. Okay, so it changed the ground sprite. Well, of course. I'm playing this on keyboard, so it's pretty difficult to do on keyboard, at least for me. I'm about to die, of course. It did change the ground sprites. I don't think it changed the background sprites at all. Add another enemy type. Oh, I can't jump on them? I could jump on this. I'm gonna die, of course. All right. But yeah, that is a great sort of scaffold to sort of add onto it, change out sprites or whatever. Um, so shout out to that Japanese correct creator for that. All right. So let's get started. We won't update. We'll do that later. All right. So again, with the empirical skills, um, we are going to box up. Let me matter of fact. So the empirical skills, we'll say Claude, and then we'll say GitHub. I may have. Pretty sure I forked this, and I did. The curated collection of 23,000 agent skills for empirical research across 8 social science disciplines. Uh, this may actually be geared towards social science, but when I was reading it down here, it didn't seem like it. But that's okay because the workflow in getting adopting an entire code repo or code base as a workspace is what the money is in. We did it for the architect. We did it a lot of there's a lot of mistakes we did for we had with the architect that we have to fix, but you're gonna break a few eggs. Okay. So we got our image working, right? So empirical skills is the researcher workspace, right? So this works. We can log into it. Claude Code can log into it. We've already authenticated with Claude Code CLI within the workspace. So now we're at the step where we need to create the brain. What does when our host, Claude Code, this pings or queries the researcher, the Claude Code within the researcher container, what does it do? Small notice now, the first merge attempt, blah, blah, blah. Stage 1, workspace mechanics complete, and on master, the researcher container is built on Beyonce, and its control plane is proven end to end, blah, blah, blah. Um, reconcile design, stage 2, the brain. Okay, let's do the reconcile design first. All right, so here's the question with workspaces. And yes, I know that Docker came out with a sandbox feature. There was a reason why I couldn't use. Oh no, no, no. So this is the older version of Docker because this is running on Windows Server 2022 on top of Windows 11 Enterprise, or is it 10? It's 10 Enterprise, which was a mistake because at the time I thought Enterprise had more features than Pro. It does, but for different purposes. So eventually, I will have to, re-image the entire system with Windows 11 Pro and leave the enterprise version out of. But before that, so what does that mean? So for Docker desktop, you can only upgrade to a certain point. You can't upgrade past that point because there are certain libraries that you need to install, and you cannot install them on the enterprise version for whatever reason. So the enterprise version of Windows is worse than the pro version uh, for an individual. For companies, it's different. Okay, so the brain part. Once our host Claude Code or Opus 4.8 instance talks to the Claude Code Opus 4.8 instance within the research container, what does it do? Because user is not going to be interacting with the researcher at all. It's going to be host CC talking to the workspace CC. That's it. That's it. Host CC is going to be making the prompts, and the researcher is going to be doing the work. And then researcher will feed the work back into the CEO, which is the host CC, CC48, and back and forth, back and forth. User will not be interacting with this workflow at all. So the point is, what we're trying to do is create a software factory where we're creating loops instead of creating prompts. Right? We give it a goal. Your CTO or your CEO or your team leads, or not your team leads, but your orchestrator uh, takes in your goal. It creates the loops for you based off of skills, based off of prompts, pre-made prompts, of course, and then it feeds that into your team. Your team. I mean, we still have our swarm skills, brainstorm swarm, research swarm, research Feynman swarm, verify swarm, experiment swarm. Right, all of those have interfaces. They all don't, but they will. And then with those skills, our orchestrator will interface with those pipeline, pipelines by the skills, and then also for bigger pipelines like the architect, like the researcher, we'll store those in the containers. I mean, eventually we want all of our pipelines to be stored in the containers, right? It's just cleaner, um, less brittle. We can tear them down and rebuild the images and containers back up in a snap of a finger, so on and so forth. Okay. All right. So the question when you want to adopt a repo as a container or as a workspace, what do you want it to do? How does it work? Right? If you and how does the workspace tell the tell your orchestrator or CTO or CEO instance of Claude Code or CC48 on how that it works? Well, the answer to the second question is skill, right? So once you have your workflow within the researcher container, like when an orchestrator or a CEO, CTO begins to sort of query the researcher, certain actions go off, right? It does this, and this, and this. And then your host knows exactly what it does because the skill will tell them, what do we want this repo to do? Right? We know what it's for. 23,000 plus agent skills is ridiculous. It can't all be for social skills, but let's say that it is. This is a complete agent harness, right? Open source agent harness. Evals, which is basically you're grading your outputs. This is not the Anthropic Hackathon repo. That's another one, which is another harness. Okay. So I've cataloged sysdivergences between. I don't really care about this. Letting the agent handle that. What I am really thinking about is uh, how my host talks to the container. That's really where the meat and potatoes is at. So let's open up WhisperFlow. Let's see if this works on stream. We have to kill fast pace because I know that's issues there. All right, so we'll do some tests here. Control win. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, Daytona, 1, 2, 3. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, Daytona, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that works. Good. All right. So let's start with our prompt. We'll just do it. Okay, as far as the host CC48 talking to the workspace, CC48, Actually, no. Before we even get to that, before we even get to that, let's brainstorm on how we can use this entire repo from end to end. So, for instance, if CC48 talks to the workspace CC48, um, the workspace CC48 will launch a specific a specific set of actions that uses the entire code base, something like that, which is a terrible prompt, but we got to start somewhere. I should really be using two different work trees for this because this actually may take a while. Now I have the full. I forgot what that character is. Brain deliberate stub. Yeah, we'll have to brainstorm on this part. Um, refer to the code base and references to see all what the code base has to offer, right? If we don't know where to go, have the agents theory. Yeah, we should be using two different work trees because that's kind of bogging us down. All right. I'm gonna create another instance here. Now for the last 15 fix, phase one proves the honest worker guarantees. Okay, we'll just wait for this to get done. I'm not really worried about if it's hallucinating at this point because when we do like the stress testing and the extensive deep dive in testing, we will find out exactly where the holes are and then we'll fix them then. Because we're gonna do like real production sort of workflows in here and we're gonna find out exactly what this workflow is made of. Not only just the workflow, also the containers and its flaws, the workspace side and host side sort of uh, entities and what they can and can't do. Two spots still stayed, allow manage hooks. Yeah, I don't know what that's referring to. Design doc fully reconciled, now the plan. All right, let's open up another. We'll open up another instance, terminal instance, because it seems like that's going to take a while. Okay, research form, the researcher, empirical skills. All right, so we'll do this. And we don't need this anymore. And we'll zoom in a little bit. We'll CD into that folder. And then we will, oh, yeah, I don't have fast pace. Okay, so we'll just go YOLO mode. And I think, and change our model. Whoops. Change our model effort to max, of course. And I think it's rename. Okay. So we'll call this empirical. No, we'll call this empire. Empire skills brain. I did that wrong. I did it wrong. I did it wrong. I'm supposed to use this as the argument, like so. There it is. Okay. So now that we've renamed this session, and to prove that, we'll just do this. And so now our resume is this. We'll do that. We'll do this. Put you there. Do that. And then our handy dandy here, EFGHI. So empirical skills, and then we'll call this the researcher workspace. Workspace. And the folder is going to be here. There you go. And then the session information here. We're not really, I mean, I guess we are kind of like simulating a work tree. More like a branch actually, because a work tree make an entire copy of the repo. Okay. All right. We'll CLS. And because we never used that command before, there we go. All right. Now we have to redo our effort again because Anthropic says X or high is good enough. All right. So is it still going? Done. Reconciliation. Any other? Actually. Let's address this. Allow manage hooks only issue. Let's fix that. Now we could rename this rename the session and as that allow manage hooks only. We could do that, and that's probably a cleaner way of doing it, clearing out the context and stuff like that, and then doing that. But we won't worry about that this time. All right. So with our prompt here, because this is where I want to spend most of the time, because this is where, host talks to workspace, workspace does this, right? And of course, we can change that behavior based on my prompt, or rather based on how host CC48 prompts workspace CC48, and then we'll change the workspace agent will change behavior based on that. But there is a default behavior. It's not just a static code base doing nothing. I want to use as many, or maybe not as many, but 23,000. I want to see what this code base is made of. How many stars does it have? 1.7 thousand. Yeah, this is one of the lesser known ones. GBrain is one of them that people are talking about. GSD, get shit done. Funny MGTOW, how's it going? It's been a minute. Nice to see you too. Question one of several. I'm just stacking agents. Agents talking to agents. Teams of agents talking to other teams of agents. When you say CC48 talks to Workspace 48, which launches a specific set of actions that use the entire code base, what is the relationship between? Okay, so I have to spell this out again. Okay, so can we talk? I wonder if we could talk into the console now. Testing Daytona 123. Still doesn't work. Hold on. Update admin settings to paste. Okay, so I just right click and it paste it in there. All right, because it copies it to the clipboard. Okay. Um, orchestrator, worker. No, just check. Nope. Check this project's memories for those answers. Because you shouldn't. Again, when you have memories and you save your logs, which you should be doing often, actually, then you don't have to repeat yourself. All you have to do is tell the agent to refer to the memories, and uh, it'll find the answers itself instead of you having to waste time re-explaining it. All right, as far as this error, program is blocked. A safety guard tripped inside the record. The corrected maintenance settings did not install. Now corrected. Um, if you need to collab with 55, then do that. On another note, have y'all seen Obsession, the movie? I actually enjoyed it, although I can't give the guy grace. Like Bear, I can't give him grace. It's fucking annoying. Uh, they tried to make him as much of an incel as possible, right? The inceliest incel possible. Okay, we'll let that cook. All right, so creating our brain. All right, so I checked thoroughly. There are no memories and no project notes anywhere. Oh, but empty. Okay, well, now where did you? Okay, I hate that. So let's do it from here. Yeah, because if I look on here, yeah, that's why. What this means is that when an agent goes when they change their CWD, their current working directory, so it changed to the references, right? And so when it exports the conversation logs, I have it to where it goes in the double underscore docs folders. Normally, this is the project root, right? And I wanted to go in this folder, but since it changed the CWD to the references folder, it goes here, which is not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's just annoying. All right, so um, check this file instead, and this is exactly why we export our conversation logs. Everything that shows up in the console gets saved to a file, specifically for this reason. Okay. Uh, incels don't exist. The cutoff is $200 and discretionary funds. All right, so the synopsis, without giving away any spoilers, because I do want y'all to watch it. So the synopsis, and it is a good movie. I don't know if it was scary. It was more. It made me unsettled. It's more unsettling than scary. So the synopsis, brief synopsis, without spoiling, is that there's this guy named Bear, right? He is your incel archetype. Uh, he doesn't really get much action, doesn't get out very much. Uh, he's not very good at communication, blah, blah, blah. There's this girl that he really likes. He's obsessed with, right? He wants to get her attention. He likes her. He wants to be in a relationship with her. Okay. Her name is what the fuck is her name? Nikki. Her name is Nikki. And Bear likes Nikki so much that he rehearses asking her out, expressing his feelings to her to his friends and to random people in the restaurant, waitresses and stuff like that, getting their opinion, right? How can I how can I set up this situation to be as perfect as possible to, you know, so I'm not stumbling over my words and all that stuff, blah blah blah. Right? Really likes his girl a lot. Um Bear has well, first of all, him and Nikki are friends. They're actual friends, right? He's a satellite. Bear is a satellite, right? He's in the friend zone, even though it hasn't been made clear that he's in the friend zone. But when is it ever clear? Uh, he's in the friend zone and he wants to get out, of course. But him, Nikki, and two other people are kind of like in this friend circle, right? They do game night, they do trivia, they do all kinds of things together, right? It's not just they all hang out together. They all work out. They all work at this record store, kind of like Sam Ash, Guitar Center sort of store, music store. Um, and Nikki, their dynamic is what you would expect out of a friend zone type of relationship, right? Nikki tells him all kinds of things, right? And then Barry's like, it's okay, it's all right. Tell me your problems. I'm here for you. All that stuff. So that's the dynamic. The other two friends, her name is Sarah, and the other guy's name is Ian. Right. So the dynamic between all four of them, Ian has been hooking up with Nikki. It's a casual thing. It's not like they go together or anything, right? It's not like, we're together. It's just they're fuck buddies. Sometimes. Bear knows this, right? Sarah likes Bear. Bear does not like Sarah. So if you're talking about like kind of like a triangle, right? Sarah, the way that Bear feels about Nikki, Sarah feels about Bear. Kind of, sort of. Not as strong, but not as strong. She's not obsessed with Bear. She likes him a lot. Bear only sees her as the friend, right? So uh, Sarah is in the friend zone. Women don't get put in the friend zone, but this is the movie. We'll go with it. So Sarah's in the friend zone, is in Bear's friend zone. Bear is in Nikki's friend zone. Ian has sexual access to Nikki. Still with me? That's the dynamic with all four people. All four of them hang out regularly to talk about trivia and all the young people stuff. Okay. And I'm already giving away like the beginning of the movie, but uh one night after trivia, Bear's taking Nikki home. Oh, actually, no, no. Nikki calls Bear one day and says, she dropped her necklace or something like that, or she's missing her necklace, something like that. And Bear, being the good friend satellite that he is, right? He's trying to gain favor, So guys do what guys in the friend zone do. Oh, I can replace it. I'll, do whatever, right? Showing that he's reliable. Okay. He goes to this store. Now, it's not advertised that this is kind of like a witchcraft store. Not advertised. Um, he's not. I don't know. I don't think he's trying to replace the necklace. Maybe he is. I have to. I've only seen it once. I have to watch it again. I'm going to watch it again. Um, but he goes there, and he's trying to give her a different gift to sort of replace the necklace. There's this long box called the One Wish Willow, right? And it looks interesting. But of course, this is in this universe, it sort of mirrors ours, right? It's not anything extravagant. There's no werewolves or witches or dragons or any nothing like that. It looks just like our world, just regular, degular. No one has superpowers. Nothing is out of the ordinary. Normal people living normal lives. Okay. So he gets this one wish willow to give to Nikki, right? Just kind of like, a gesture, a good gesture, right? To cheer her up from her losing her necklace. Right. Excuse me, Bear takes Nikki home, and then she gets out the car and he says, "Oh yeah, I got you a gift." And she said something crazy. I don't know. It was something. I don't remember what the line she actually said, but it was kind of like it kind of hurt his feelings. Nikki is okay. So if I had to guess, like the meta with Nikki's state of mind in reference to Bear, I think Nikki knows that Bear likes her because she does ask him at this moment or a moment moments before that you know she asks him straight up, "Bear, do you like me?" Of course, this is his moment, right? This is his moment to put everything on the table, right? And then and he stutter and he beatbox out, yeah, as a friend, right? And if I had to guess the meta with Bear in reference to Nikki, is that uh is that she knows that he likes her, but he knows that she doesn't see him like that. He knows that. So he doesn't want to, because it's kind of like one of those things where once you know that she doesn't like you like that, now it's reality. Now you have to move on. Right. But as long as it's not confirmed, then you can continue to live in delusion, if that makes any sense. Right. I want to confess my feelings, but I know I'm probably going to get rejected. And if I get rejected, then I have to let this go. And I don't want to let this go. Right. So you're locked out. Right. There's no win-win situation if you're Bear here. So Nikki asks Bear, "Do you like me?" He's beatboxing and he says, "Yeah, as a friend." Of course. And then she says, "Oh, okay, good. Good." And of course he's and of course that's kind of confirms that yeah, she don't really see me like that, like how I see her. Right. And he doesn't like it and he's kicking himself and God, what's wrong with me? I should have just started and in his fit of frustration in his fit of frustration, you know what? We might actually just play the movie because we do have the bootleg. We should just play the movie because it's a good movie. But in his fit of frustration, he gets the one wish Willow because Nikki doesn't want the gift. She's frustrated. She's ready to go home. She's already asked Bear that if he likes her and he's beatboxing, he can't get his words in order and he's not confident in himself and he's all that shit, right? In his frustration, he gets the one wish Willow. He pulls out the branch and he says, "I wish that Nikki liked me, loved me more than anyone else in the world." Breaks it. Right? Of course, he doesn't think the one wish Willow is not a true thing because why would you think that? Again, in this world, no one has seen, Dungeons and Dragons or animals or superheroes or anything else like that. So why would you think that this wish is going to come true? It's one of those things where it's like it's wishful thinking, sort of a wish. I wish Nikki loved me more than anyone else in the world. Breaks the branch. Right? And then like in when you're in a neighborhood and you hear like the ambiance, like there's maybe a police siren or there's the crickets, nighttime sort of neighborhood sounds. When he breaks that branch, everything goes silent. Now, now, and this is where the cinematography is so fucking good. Now, when Nikki walks away from the car, originally we assumed that she's already in the house, even though we haven't heard the door close. She hasn't. Well, she said bye and whatever. When he breaks that branch and we pan back out to the other side of Bear because he's a driver, looking in the front of Nikki's house. She's just standing there. It's like a shadow. She stands there for like 10 seconds. Scary shit. And Bear's, and Bear's like, hello? Are you okay? She just stands there, doesn't do anything, doesn't say anything, right? Then she walks up. She doesn't run. She walks up to the car. And then now, at this point, from this point onward, Nikki is under the wish, is under Bear's wish. And I'll leave it at that. You got to watch the movie. It's a good fucking movie. It's a good fucking movie. Yeah. They have, men are evil, and men are incels, and yeah, all that stupid shit. Yes, but it's still. Matter of fact, why don't we just play it? We may get booted. I don't care if we get booted. It's fixed, verified, blah blah blah. Okay, so save your memories. Yeah, I didn't think this was going to turn into MGTOW movie night, but let's do it. So we'll go. Should I just download the movie again? Yeah, let's just do it that way. So this is going to be a bootleg copy. Very, very good movie. Very good. And horror genre is not even my type of genre, but a good movie is a good movie. Okay, so while that cooks, well, actually, we'll just do this, and we'll come over here. We'll go that way. We'll detach this. We'll do that. And we'll do. So that means I can't, oh God, please don't show no goddamn porn ads. Hold on. Wait. Because that is a how do I change? How do I change the? Oh, I guess I can't since. All right, fuck it. If I can't save this stream anyway, so fuck it. We'll do this. Yeah, I see naked women, then I apologize. Close. Matter of fact, hold on. Before. Let me just do this. And I'm blanking on what the actual ad blocker. Why am I thinking any other? Was it origin block? U block origin. That's what I'm looking for. Yes. And then if we do this again, go away. Okay, so now we should be good. This one. All right, guys, let's get to it. I don't know why. Oh, the one next bet thing. Like, why is Pennywise in here? Don't tell me it has this big ass watermark all over it. Please, Lord Jesus. I'll pause it and then move it away for a few seconds, just in an attempt to not get our stream taken down. All right, all right, all right, all right. We get it. What? Don't start this already. So it's running. All right. Oh my god. Is there no sound? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Really? Oh no, don't tell me. Mute website notifications. God damn it. How do I do this? How do I do this? Um, Desktop managed. Does StreamYard allow sound through screen sharing? It does if you're on Chrome, but the thing with Chrome, it won't allow me to share. Hold on, let's look this up. Wait a second. All right, so StreamYard, actually Firefox screen sharing with sound. Allow sound for screen sharing. The Watch Together developer has been replying to people. Audio sharing on screen share. Jesus. One untested where mini cam to capture your screen with audio. Yeah, I guess. And just swap the audio. I guess you could. Minicam should work. Minicam should work. Let's try that. Because I do have Minicam, assuming that it's still functional. Please work. It's been a while since I've used it. And of course it doesn't. Um Hold on, let me try Chrome. Maybe we should just try to figure out um why it doesn't work with Chrome. So StreamYard. I'll be right back, guys. All right, so check. Okay, so that works. So now, did it fix it? We can't do this by tab. Browser cannot access your screen. Try capturing a different screen to see if this continues. All right, so let's do it by tab. Actually, no, we'll do it by window. We'll do it this way. App browser cannot access your screen. Try capturing. Let me do this. We should fix this right now. If it doesn't take too long. This error typically happens when your computer's operating system is blocking browser from opening system settings, system preferences, privacy. Sorry, guys. System settings. Come on. Privacy and security. No. Yes. Screen recording. So if I remember correctly, there's no screen recording subsection. Location camera, microphone, screen recording. Screenshot and screen recording. Okay. Anyone on this device could choose if the apps could take screenshots or record. That's on. Find your browser in the list. Select screen recording. Find your browser in the list. Let me do it like this, because maybe I'm missing something. So this is with the screen off, and it still won't let me do it. Ugh. And then with Firefox, you can't capture audio. I could do it through OBS. You know what, guys? We're going to create a new stream for 11, and I'm going to do it with OBS, and then we'll just do it from there. All right. I'll see you guys back in 30.